Hello everyone, I just wanted to start off by apologizing. I know I've been absent for quite some time. I just used this week to take a little break from Destiny and take a little break from competitive as a whole. Now in the background I have gameplay from my last couple of games before I finally got my Not Forgotten. As you all know, the reset for the new season was this Tuesday, which means that the Valor and Glory ranks for Crucible reset. After obtaining my Luna's Howl, I took a long break from competitive and a long break from Destiny 2. When I came back to Destiny 2, I realized that everyone had gotten the Luna's Howl. The reason I even got the Luna's Howl to begin with is to differentiate myself from everyone else. So here I was wanting to differentiate myself once again. So I committed myself to obtaining the Not Forgotten no matter how long I had to play, no matter how hard I had to grind. I started off on October 24th with 3,222 score, the score I originally left off when I finished my Luna's Howl quest. And I finally finished my grind on October 27th when I hit 5,474. Now this video isn't to review the Not Forgotten. This video is to talk about my journey from 3,200 to 5,400. I just want to emphasize that this has to be the hardest thing I have ever done in Destiny, but I do realize that I made a mistake in sprinting through it rather than having it be a marathon. What I mean with this is that I did not pace myself whatsoever. I didn't space out my competitive play. I crammed it all in 4 days. Now this wasn't the only thing that affected me when going for the Not Forgotten. Another thing that had a huge impact on my experience in competitive was not having a set team. When Forsaken came out and I got my Luna's Howl, I had a set team that I played with at a certain time. Once I committed myself to getting the Not Forgotten, it was a little too late because all of my teammates and my friends had the Not Forgotten for themselves already. They obviously didn't want to help someone else grind for it when they grinded for it themselves. They were focused on doing other things, so I definitely do not blame them for my own mistake. In the end, not having a set team really put me in a bad position because I had to scramble through LFG websites for hours just trying to set up a team. Honestly, the hardest thing for me was getting a team together. It was not hard to find people, but it was extremely hard to find great players to play with. Now don't get me wrong, I met a lot of great people, but sometimes I didn't meet the best players. And if I really wanted to get the Not Forgotten, I had to get the very best. Now obviously, I don't have to dive into the reasons why having a good team is great for competitive, so I'll just leave it at that. Just know that not having a set team and scrambling for players through LFG made it extremely hard for me in the end. A great example of this is I at one point lost 8 games in a row and dropped around 300 points, and that's just one example that I can think of right now. Now next up, and I'm sure you all guessed this was gonna come, is the state of the competitive playlist right now. A lot of the teams that I faced and a lot of the reasons why we lost certain games was because certain teams used certain playstyles that were really cheesy. This includes using Ursa, using Telesto, using Wave Splitter, using One-Eyed Mask. And I know in the gameplay you see me using a Telesto, but sometimes you just have to use it in order to compete, otherwise you'll just get stomped on. Now this isn't the only thing that greatly impacts games. Another thing is power ammo. Power ammo honestly just ruins games. See, in Destiny 2 things tend to snowball pretty hard. One little mistake can cost your whole entire team the game. And honestly, in the high mythic rank, it's a waiting game. There's absolutely no room for mistakes here. As soon as you commit one mistake, the other team will capitalize on it, no matter what. And I honestly don't think that it's very competitive to have a game snowball so hard. It gets to a certain point when you truly can't do anything to defend yourself. And obviously it takes skill to control heavy and to know when to use your super and stringing supers with your team. All I'm saying is that if games go downhill, it is extremely difficult to change momentum. Another thing that I had problems with is the matchmaking. I had good moments and bad moments with matchmaking. See, there were times where I would face legend rank players when I was a 4,000 score and the rest of my team was lower than me. There was even a moment where I was duo queuing and I faced up against a 4 stack that were all legends, and I had 2 other teammates that were rank 20 and rank 8 with no good guns whatsoever. But I will admit that there were moments where I played against people that maybe weren't so good and definitely should not have been matched up against my team. Also, don't even get me started on the fact that sometimes it seems like there's only 2 teams playing competitive. There were moments where I would play the same exact team 3 times in a row. Come on. Despite the fact that I had such a terrible time getting this gun, I still truly enjoyed competing with people, because at the end of the day, I chose to keep playing. There was no one pointing a gun at my head telling me to play. I chose to play because I love to compete. I didn't get Not Forgotten because it's better than the Luna's Howl. The reason I got Not Forgotten was because it's a status thing. It is by far the hardest gun to get in the game, so if you have it in your loadout, then chances are you're extremely good at PvP. And that's what I wanted to prove to myself. I wanted to prove that I didn't need a set team to do this. I wanted to prove that if I really truly want something, I'm willing to put in the time and effort to get it. There are no shortcuts to getting the Not Forgotten. No shortcuts whatsoever. You have to be willing to put the time and effort in getting it. Anyways, you all, I think that's gonna be it for me today. If you guys have any more questions on my journey to Not Forgotten, please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all for watching, and please make sure to like, favorite, and subscribe. The amount of support we have been getting lately from you guys is insane, so please keep it up. Thank you so much once again. See you guys later.